And I want to talk about that. For years, the Arkansas Imagination Library has been working with the Arkansas Department of Education to try to reach that goal. And by the way, Dolly doesn't want the states to pay for more than 50% because she wants the local program partners to have some skin in the game. So that's the goal that we've been working toward. And Arkansas Imagination Library and the Department of Education got a federal grant that was going to last for about 5 years to provide that funding to the local program partners. So that gave us a 5-year runway to work toward this day. That money was going to run out September 30th, 2024. So we were planning ahead. We passed the bill in the 2023 legislative session, bipartisan, strong support to create a funding mechanism. It was easy to pass through the legislature because we weren't asking for any money at that time. And the next year in the fiscal session, that's when we were going to try to cover the 9-month gap between when the federal grant ended on October 1st and the fiscal year ended on June 30th of 2025. I spoke with Dr. Oliva. The very first conversation I ever had with Dr. Oliva about the Imagination Library, this is a direct quote. "Clark, I'm all in on the Imagination Library." So when we needed that extra 9 months of funding, the governor's office and the Department of Education said, "We got this, no worries." Cut to 12 months ago, the legislative session started last year, and I called, this is when I thought we would need to file a bill for ongoing funding from the state for the cost of 50% of the books. And I called the governor's budget director, Selby Tucker McCullough. Is Selby here? Tucker's her maiden name, but I like to include it. I said, "Selby, I'm getting ready to file my bill. I think there's the legislative support for this, but I just wanted to check in with you before I do it." And she said, "Wait, just wait." And about 2 days later, she called me back and she said, "You don't need to file a bill. We're going to do this. We don't need a legislative directive. This administration is going to make this happen." This governor understands what we've talked about, that literacy starts before kindergarten and before 3rd grade. No one can question Governor Sanders' fierce commitment to childhood literacy, because she understands the impact that that has in every facet of a child's life. She understands that 85% of our cognitive development takes place before our 5th birthday, but that 95% of our education dollars are spent after a child's 5th birthday. And beyond just the intellectual growth that learning to read provides, this governor also understands there is no more powerful tool for social and emotional development than a little kid sitting in their parents' lap or their grandparents' lap or their aunt and uncle and being read to. That's why I was hopeful that the governor would be supportive, and she came through in a way that was way beyond my expectations. So when that happened in the legislative session a year ago, there was no bill signing ceremony because there was no bill. There was no press conference. So I have been the one to push for this event over the last several months because I think the public needs to know what the state of Arkansas is doing for early childhood literacy through this program. And I think the governor deserves for the public to know that she's the one who made this happen. So with that, I'd like to invite my friend and the 47th governor of the state of Arkansas, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
I feel like I should quit because it's very rare that you get that kind of love from a legislator. I guess it's because we're getting ready to go into a budget session. So good afternoon. It is great to be here, and what an incredible day it is, and what a great thing we have to celebrate. And I want to give, I know there have been a couple moments of recognition, but I want to do it again because I think it is so critical to recognize the people who have been working for years to make this happen and to give the expanse of this program that exists across Arkansas. I want to to say a huge thank you to UAMS and the interim chancellor, Dr. Lowry Barnes, for hosting us, doing a great job. And like Clark, I have a great relationship with UAMS, both in my professional capacity and also in my personal capacity, because 2 out of 3 of my kids have been here in the last 6 months for x-rays due to sports-related injuries, and proud to say they've received excellent care, and we're very grateful to have this facility with dedicated medical professionals that take care of so many Arkansans on a regular basis, and our family included. So thank you for your leadership, Dr. Barnes. And I want to say thank you to Energy for their sponsorship, not just of this program, but Laura and the team there. They're one of the first calls every time there is a need in the state. No matter what it is, big or small, they're one of the first people we reach out to, because they never once bat an eye to step up and help take care of people and invest in things that really matter. And so really proud of the partnership and the relationship that we have with them and the great things that they're doing here in the state. I also want to say thank you to Charlotte for your leadership and all that you've done to make this program a success. Without the work that you're doing on a daily basis, none of the rest of us would be here to celebrate this great achievement, and more importantly, see so many kids in our state's lives impacted. So thank you for what you're doing. And I want to say thank you to the legislators who have worked on this. There are a number of people who have been, as Clark said, involved for several years in making this happen, and it's been a great bipartisanship effort. And I think that shows the importance of what this program represents, and a great collaboration and an easy one for all of us to come together. And I'm going to single out one legislator in particular. I bet you can guess who it is, Senator Clark Tucker, not only for the very kind introduction. It's an honor that I get to call him a friend. We were classmates at Central High. I think the reason we are so nice to each other publicly is because we both have pictures of each other from high school that we're hoping that the other don't show. But he has really spearheaded this entire effort and its success here in the state. Many of you probably remember when Dolly was here herself and visited during the Hutchinson administration. That was only possible because of Clark's work to get every single county in the state to commit to joining the program. Nobody else could have gotten that done, and nobody else would have gotten it across the finish line. Now, I am a little upset that Clark didn't wait a few years to get that done, because meeting Dolly is still one of the top 5 things on my bucket list. And I haven't yet forgiven my dad when he had her on his show and did an interview with her and forgot to invite me. But it's okay, I'm going to take a picture with the cardboard cutout. I've been told this is actual size and pretend like it's the real thing. What's really incredible, though, and what I love about Dolly is not what she does as a performer or how many of us see her as even an American icon. What I love is her commitment to give back and to invest in the lives of kids around the country. In just the last year, Imagination Library has distributed and delivered over 1 million books to kids across our state, and has delivered over 200 million books since its inception. That is a remarkable, life-changing thing for so many kids in America. Nearly half of all kids 5 and under in Arkansas are enrolled in the program. That means that more than 100,000 kids have benefited from the program in the last year. And we're here to celebrate the partnerships that will help those numbers grow even larger. As Clark mentioned, the state of Arkansas is now committed to covering half of the cost of enrolling a child in Imagination Library, cutting the cost for local communities from $30 down to $15. And UAMS is now partnering with the Pulaski County Imagination Library to ensure every baby born in this hospital is automatically enrolled in the program. We hope to expand that partnership to hospitals across the state. Today, we're joined by Zach and Annabeth Johnson, who are parents to their 2.5-year-old daughter, Collins, and her very recent baby brother, Jones. Both babies were born here at UAMS. Jones was actually born only 12 days ago. Annabeth, if you decide to nod off during my speech, no one will blame you. In a state where so many kids unfortunately enter kindergarten unprepared to learn how to read, the Johnson's daughter, Collins, is already tearing through books with her parents thanks to Imagination Library. Her favorite book is about ice cream, and frankly, I don't blame her. It's far more interesting than most of the policy memos that we're reading in our office. But what the Johnsons are seeing in their own house is what Imagination Library brings to families all across Arkansas: healthy development, quality family time, and a pathway for kids to learn to love reading before they ever set foot in a classroom. My administration has put a laser focus on early childhood literacy because we know how important reading skills are for a kid's future academic success, and really for their success in life in general. In addition to our support for the Imagination Library, I also signed the LEARNS Act, which deployed more than 120 literacy coaches to public schools across the state to help struggling readers and create tutoring grants to provide families with extra help. A lot has been said about the Mississippi miracle, where that state has in recent years consistently started to outpace states like New York and Texas in teaching kids how to read. The LEARNS Act took many of the best practices from Mississippi's strategy to make sure our kids are not left behind. And we are already seeing real progress across the state, and this program is a huge part of Arkansas's success story. I want to again thank the many great supporters who have made Imagination Library possible in our state, from our legislature to our business and nonprofit community, and to the families who sign up. And thank you again for everyone who has been a part of this unbelievable effort. We want to make sure, and we believe, that every kid in America should and will be a lifelong reader, and this is a great start. Thank you so much for being here today.